So good afternoon, everybody. I'm on my way to work. It's almost 3 o'clock, and I was just inspired to bring something forward to everyone today. Basically, so I was just sharing this information with Gil not too long ago. So there's a girl that I'm mentoring, and there was a time before I was driving, I was taking the bus to work, right? And at that time I was working for the home health agency, and she was actually going to the nursing school that was right across from the building that I worked in, right? So we're waiting for the bus to go to our destinations, and we just start talking just on GP. Nothing about recruiting, because I was good for recruiting too, because at the time that's what I was doing. I was recruiting coordinator. So everybody I talked to, I would talk to them, right? But me and her just started talking. So a little bit later, I started up a job fair, and the job fair was right at the school that she was going to. I already knew that the people was going for nursing, but I was like, well, listen, hey, make a couple of dollars in your pocket while you're going through your nursing school. And at least, if anything, this is how I would sell it. If at least at anything, when you become a nurse and you're doing bedside care and you have a CNA or a home health aide by you, you know how to work with them because you already did this already. So you have a little bit of compassion about where they're from. And that always got me to get more numbers in the door. So moving a little bit forward, I held this job fair at her school, and when she got there, she was like, oh my gosh, she was like, this is the guy I was telling you about. Like, he was just so apparently she was talking about me and making a reference, and so she was like, oh my God, I was just telling people, like, you know, how good of a person he was, blah 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 blah, you know. And I don't even remember the conversation that we had, just to tell you the truth, right? So she signed up and she started doing some caregiving, right? And then I left the job, and she had called me. She said, Angel, I want you to mentor me. And I said, okay, like, what do you do? She said, I want to, every now and then, I need to be able to have that cushion from you. So I said, okay. So I remember driving her to a case, and she was telling me about how she was mapping out her life. And she was a very young girl at the age, so she might have been like 20, 21, 20. And she was mapping it out. By this year I'm going to have this, by this time I'm going to do this, da, 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 da. And it was all mapped out. And the way she designed and executed this plan, I'm telling you that, you know what, it was cut with so much precision that I saw the vision. Like, oh yeah, heck wow, yeah, sa labiori. And for the first time, I felt like I heard a well-executed plan. And like, when I turned my head to look at her, because I was driving her to this case, I said, you know what, like, she's gonna get this, right? So years later, she calls me up and she goes, hey, Angel, you know, I just want to talk to you about this and this, that. She was like, a couple of changes. So basically, she had gotten into a relationship with this guy. It wasn't working out. She didn't want to be with him no more. In the midst of this relationship, she's now pregnant. So I think she's about 23 now, right? And then she also had to stop going to school because of the COVID. So she picked up another thing. She became a med tech on the way. So she was feeling all kinds of ways about her life now. So I said to her, I said, listen, I remember when you was mapping it out, right? And it was like this, that, point and go, right? And I said to her, the thing about it is that we just forgot to see that while we was planning, that there was a detour. So, okay, you know what? You decided to get into a relationship. You said you wasn't going to get into a relationship, but you did it. Okay, so fine. You did something. Okay, we move forward. I said, so you said you're not going to be one of those young girls that are pregnant with a baby. Okay, you know what? Fine. It happened, so now you are, right? There are some detours. I said, so, you look at the blessings, right? In your detour, you got a gift, right? You came out of knowing so many marvelous things, right? There's so many gifts. You learned that you got into a relationship with someone, and at a very early state, you decided that this was not going to work, and you was not going to be in a relationship, right? That no matter what, because you was getting some kind of need met, but it wasn't what you knew it wasn't going to work out to where it was going to be at. You decided to cut that off, right? However, if that's the word you want to use, after breaking up out of this relationship, and you don't want to have nothing to do with the person anymore, and y'all are both okay with that, right? You have a baby by this person, right? Okay. Is that an issue? Yes, if you make it an issue, right? Because the reality is that, you know what, if you can't co-parent, then you know what, beautiful, wonderful, excellent. If you can't co-parent, then you know what, we have to step to another plan, right? So, it is about making decisions rationally, getting out of the feelings, right? About how you feel about the individual, because that won't do nothing but fuel a flame that we're not trying to fuel, because there's so many other flames that need to be fueled to get to a next decision about how you're gonna roll, right? So I'm talking to her and I'm like, listen, let us count up the blessings, because there are blessings. Your family is willing and able to support you, right? And you get to go back to school in September. So this is about a month ago that she had called me. I said, that's right around the corner. No, the baby comes in September. You go back to school in January. So I said, now you have so much opportunity to spend some time with your baby. And then, because you have the support of your family, your school comes back into play. And you did a lot of the school before the COVID interrupted the course. So you don't really have that much way to go, right? So, yes. Is it going to be a challenge now? Of course it is, right? But you remember that God never puts too much on a plate for us to say that we're too full, right? He never gives us more than we could bear, right? So then she goes on to say, but you know what, my dreams, my goals, my hopes, my aspirations, angels, all the things that we planned out when I was talking to you. She was like, tell me something. I said, listen, I'm gonna tell you something, and this is for everybody, right? If you have dreams, if you have goals, if you have aspirations, right? They begin in the mind, right? As that vision, right? And it's something that, you know what, your spirit has connected with you in such a way that the epiphany, right, came upon you and said, oh my God, it's something that I want to do, right? And even if you're a person that's having a hard time staying focused, right? Because I can identify with this, right? The good thing is, I said, you have some time right now. Create a vision board. Create a vision board, right? Creating a vision board takes all of that stuff that's in your head and that's in the air, right? That you're trying to put it together, but it's all over here because it's new and it's an idea that you really want to do because you're interested in it. It's something you want to do, right? And for whatever reason, you have a hard time getting focused, or you just can't make it happen. Write it down on a piece of paper. Listen, I don't really care if your vision board is not fancy with cutouts and stuff like that. Even if it's simple, put it on paper. Put it on some oak tag, some stock board. That's what y'all call it now. You know what I'm saying? Poster board, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Design it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you have some artsy, crafty way, put it in a frame. You know what I'm saying? If you're not even that, just keep it real simple. But put it up. Put it up. Put it up in a place where you can see it. Take your dreams, your goals, and your aspirations out of the air, right? Because sometimes when they're in the air too much, they just start to move around. Anchor yourself, right? Grab what's in your vision. what is around you. Grab it. Utilize the elements, right? From air, I place my vision and my goals, my affirmations, and my positive prosperities that I look for onto earth, right? And I'm grounding into the earth so that I can visually see my aspirations. What is the earth? The earth is the material that you're writing on, that paper, right? The lead, the graphite, you know what I'm saying, that is used in the pencil, right? From mineral, from the earth, grounding it, putting it on pencil and paper. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get it nice and whatever, however you want to design it, you got a Cricut or you know how to calligraphy or whatever you do, you want to do whatever, you want to make it nice. That's a fad right now. Okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? That's still part of creativity because that shows that, you know what, you putting your own ashe into it, your own energy into it, your own God-given. So if you want to make it look nice, that's fine. If you want to keep it simple, because that's how you got to keep it for yourself, keep it simple. Write your affirmations out, you know what I'm saying, on a computer. You need to use a bigger font. You know what I'm saying? Get you some frames, put that up there. I want this. And this is what I vision. If you're a person that's calculated and you can do time limits and that's good for you, then do it. But if you just want to put this in it, you know what I'm saying, I even, whatever it is, put it on paper. Take your visions and make them real. I keep telling y'all, fucking with me and Gil, you're going to keep being enlightened, right? Nothing is getting rough. It's just that things are being unveiled. When you start to see, one of my favorite people say this, man. Once you know, you cannot go back to not knowing, right? We on a journey. And the journey is to get bigger. In the beginning, I was like, it's about getting big. That's what I was calling this whole movement. It's about getting big. Do not limit yourself. If you boxing yourself in, come out the box, right? There's no limit. If you believe in the Creator, believe in the fact that the Creator lives in you, and if you know that the Creator lives in you, then you have the ability to create. My people, create a better life for yourselves. Look at where you at. If your feet are planted and you okay where you at and you good, then you know that now maintain. But if you look down at your feet and you don't like where you at, take a couple of steps. You're never stunted. We are the only people that stand in our way. When God mixed us and fashioned us and breathed that breath into our body, and He had about to mold our bodies, right? Because I'm talking to you as we talking, right? And we came to be, and all the energies of the water that Yamaya put into us, and how we was birthed into this world with the help of all the ashe of every Orisha, right? And we here and we collecting energies and we sharing energies and times with each other, getting to know each other, and we growing. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself for nothing, right? But remember one thing, that no matter what you say and however you decide to blame any external force about where you at in a situation, it is always you that would allow yourself to stunt your growth. Nobody can ever stunt you. Nothing can ever stop you. I'm a warrior. Everybody I'm dealing with and I'm sending this out to are warriors. I know that because I feel it. I've seen it. I hear it. We talk about it. We spend time discussing certain things. I know I'm dealing with warrior people, right? And sometimes, you know what? I'm talking to everybody about this. It's about aligning. You're saying you align yourself to a place where you could be able to have that spirit of discernment. You know better. If you know better, then you do better. Period. I know I can't do this no more, so I'm not going to do it no more, because if I do this, this is what's going to happen. Bro, if you diabetic and you know that you're supposed to be watching your sugar, stop fucking around with sweets all the time. Stop it. Stop doing it. Right? I'm telling this to people. I'm talking because you know what? I love everybody. I really do. But if I sugarcoat all the time, then you know what? We only going to stay in the fantasy. I'm done in the fantasy, and I know everybody that I talk to, they're done in the fantasy, right? Stop doing things that you know. Listen, bro. If you're not supposed to be eating spicy foods because you have ulcers in your stomach and you love that shit, you find another way, bro, because you know what? You keep doing that, you won't be able to eat nothing. If you know that the doctor told you stop smoking cigarettes because you know what, your lungs is fucked up and you just can't help yourself, and you every time you puff it, then you know what, you reap what you sow. None of these examples that I put out there are any explanation or any conversation that we have with people, but if you could fit in our personal conversations through those examples, then you know what I'm talking about, right? You know, I was asked a question in this journey by one of y'all. Does this mean that I have to stop doing certain things? I can never tell anybody nothing like that. When you on a spiritual journey, I'm going to tell you something that I know for real. You will change with and without your permission. And there are certain things that you know when you become a person that you wants to be enlightened, you can't do no more. You just can't do it anymore. It just don't coincide with the master plan, right? That piece don't fit there. Where we come from, we're not forcing no energy. That doesn't need to be forced. You know, so going back to that, man, know that there are no limits. There's no limits to anything that you put your mind to. If you could every day think about some negative shit every day, then you could transform the way of your mind and thinking. It's in the Bible, the Bible believers that we talked about, that know what I'm talking about. I didn't say the verse right, but I know it's in there, right? The transformation of the mind. Stop dwelling in the negative. The negative part of life is here to show us so many great examples of how we can still endure no matter what. You can use negative energy to become positive, bro. I'm telling you. You can use negative energy to become positive. Right? If you don't believe me, go to math, integers. So if you have these visions and these ideas and these plans and these dreams, take a grab and a hold of the things that's in the air in your mind and put them down on paper. Ground your visions. Do it. Try it. See the results. I hope everybody has a wonderful, blessed day. I love everybody. If nobody told y'all today that nobody loved you, I love you. Have a beautiful day. Grand Rising, Ashe, everything to y'all, man. E-Ray abundantly to everybody. Have a good one.